If you've listened to the podcast recently, you'll have heard me going on about an app called Hammock. Now, I am in love with this app, but rather than me just tell you about it, I sat down a couple of weeks ago with a guy called James Kilpatrick, who is Hammock's head of business development. During this discussion, we go behind the scenes in the app to see exactly how it functions and what the biggest benefits are. For me, it has to be time. It saves so much time when you're looking at the finances for your existing portfolio. And as we all know, time is the most important currency. If it can save you time, then without doubt, it is also saving you money, whether you're doing this process yourself or you're getting members of your team to look after this finance side of your portfolio for you. If you haven't seen Hammock before, then I strongly suggest you check it out. I'll give you some details at the end how you can get a free trial, but I'll put the link below in the comments of this video as well. But if you are in any way looking to increase your efficiency, your effectiveness, but also reduce your stress by knowing that your finances are well looked after, then I'd say Hammock is without doubt my app recommendation of 2021. So check it out, watch this video. I'm sure it'll be useful to give you an insight into exactly how it works, and then let me know in the comments if you've got any questions.
So Hammock is a property finance management tool. It's made by landlords, for landlords. It lets you manage all of your property finances from your phone, from your laptop, or from anywhere. The aim of Hammock is we're using technology to just get rid of the need for spreadsheets, paper notes, bank statements, and really bring property management up into the 21st century to save you time and money. So as a new user, you're going to land on this property page. Obviously, there won't be any properties there if you come in new, but you just click here, start typing in your postcode or the first line of your address, and it will find your property, and you can just add them. Just start searching for the address, and it will come up. You can just select the property. Now, if you're an HMO, you can put in the number of tenants and select that it's an HMO. Hammock is actually really popular with HMO landlords for one big reason, that we charge per property instead of per tenancy. If you've got 2 properties and 6 tenants in each, instead of paying for 12 tenancies, you just pay for 2 properties. But then you just click add, and it gets added to your list, and then you can just start typing the next one, and again, and just add. Really simple, really quick, really simple.
And one thing I love about this, James, is, as you said, this is built by landlords for landlords. It's not always clear what that means, but when you compare this to some of the more generic finance software, this really stands apart in as much as you can add joint ventures here, you can add different ownership percentages of properties. It is really designed to manage your property portfolio, however that is structured for you as an individual.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really tailored niche product. The accounting softwares are great, but they don't speak to landlords. Hammock is built for landlords. It talks their language. It's very easy to use. The one piece of feedback we always get from our users is it's simple to use, and that's often the thing they love most about it. I completely agree with you. It's that tailored feel, which means that anybody, even people who aren't that familiar with tech, can pick it up and just start using it straight away. So once you've added your properties, you can then head over to the transaction screen. Now there's 2 ways to use Hammock. You can open a current account with us. It is included in your subscription regardless, or you can connect your existing bank account via open banking. You just click on here. This screen will then tell you what information you'll be sharing. The open banking connection, like any open banking connection, lasts for 90 days. Just click allow, and then you can select any of the banks that we work with, which is pretty much all the high street banks and challenger banks. And then once you click on one, you'll then be you'll be connected and taken to that bank where you log in as you normally would and select which account you'd like to connect. Okay, so when you first connect your bank account, you're going to see all of your bank transactions feeding through here, but you can see at the moment nothing's been categorized, nothing's been linked to a specific property. So that's when it's up to you. You just click on any transaction. If it's an expense, you will see your expense categories. If you select on an incoming payment, you'll get a different set of incoming categories. Each of these categories has subcategories. So if we select maintenance, you can see lots of different maintenance categories. Similarly, if I pick insurance, all the different types of insurance that you'd expect as a landlord. And I can just click on that. If I want to, I can select a property. If I don't, it will just feed into my overall portfolio expenses. I can select the payment period and just hit save. Because this is a regular payment, Hammock will look back and see if it can find any other similar payments in my bank feed. I can just click review and track, and it will bring up all these other payments that look similar, and then it's up to you. You can select and tick the ones that you want to also track as that same category, and just hit track. And you'll now see, you can see the category against the transaction. You can see what properties it's linked to, and those figures will be feeding your P&L for the property and feeding into your tax statement. So once you've tracked and categorized all your expenses, your income and your expenses, it all feeds through into the tax statement. So at the top here, you get your kind of overall summary. Then you get the breakdown for the categories that you'll see in the SA 105, which is the UK property tax return. And then underneath that, you get your P&L statement. So this is a breakdown of everything that you've tracked, whether that's from your bank feed or whether it's manual transactions that you've added manually. Maybe you paid something in cash or received something in cash, etc. If it is a cash transaction, you'll see in here, it will be listed as cash. If it says verified, that means it came from your bank feed. And now you can download this as a CSV file. You can use that to send to your accountant or to manage your own finances. And actually, very, very soon, we are releasing our accountant portal. So you'll be able to invite your accountant to Hammock, and they'll be able to actually access this data directly. So you won't even need to send them anything at all. So let me show you a couple of ways we can help you if you have a letting agent who collects your rent. So if we search for a rent payment for one of my properties, so I've added the property. I haven't yet added any tenancies, but I can click on this transaction. I select rental income. I select the property, and at this point, I have the decision to add either a tenant if I get the rent directly, or I can add a letting agent if I use one. So let's just say agent's called Moving On. The rent is paid on the 28th. The full rent on this property is £460. I pay my agent £40 a month, and the tenancy started back in January. So I'll add that agent. Now, obviously, it's the £420, which is the net amount which hits my account. So when I click save, that transaction's tracked, and Hammock's also searched back through my transactions, and it's found my previous rent payments as well. So I'm just going to select those and hit track. Now, what Hammock does, because it knows that I use a letting agent, it automatically tops my rent up to the full rental amount and creates the letting agent fee. And you can see that if we come in here, you can now see that the income and expenses have been created here, even though all I tracked was incoming transactions. And if we jump over to the tax statement and I filter just on that property, you'll see that every time it tracks a rent payment, it also, so we've got this £420 rent payment in November, it also automatically creates that letting agent fee of £40 and a rent top up of £40. If I search for some incoming transactions, and let's just say that actually this month they paid, but there was some expense that they had to take some money off the payment. So this month, instead of getting £420, I actually only got £43.50. So again, I'll select the property, select rental income, select the property, and hit save. Now straight away, Hammock knows that this rent is less than expected, and it then lets me select a fee. And so maybe it was letting agent fees, which were the reason that there was a deduction that month, and I can create that transaction. Now, if we go back to see the tax statement of what's been created, we'll filter on that property. So you can see here that the rental income of £43 feeds through. It creates the letting agent fee as normal for the £43, and then it's also created a rent top up and letting agent fees for the difference, so that now actually my net rent across these 3 transactions is still the £460 that I receive, but it's created these expenses for me so that my tax statement is correct. And one final thing, obviously in some months there might be multiple expenses. So in that instance, all you would do, you would just click on the transaction. Again, if we find an incoming transaction, you would just click on it. And if there's multiple things that you need to break down, you just hit split expense, split transaction, and then you can add as many different lines as you want. So you can have £460 rent, £40 letting agent fee, £100 gas certificate, £30 new keys, etc., etc., and they will all feed your tax statement.
So there you have it, a quick run through of an awesome little app that is going to massively simplify your life if you are a property owner, a landlord. Go and check it out. You get a 30-day free trial to have a play around, figure out if it's right for you. I'm sure you'll be convinced within those 30 days, probably within even the first 24 hours. But if you want to have a play around first, go to usehammock.com/inside property investing, and you'll get all the details there of how to sign up for that free trial. I'll post a link below in the comments as well. Like I say, if you've got any specific questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video.